Assassin's Creed. Big announcement. Ready? Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and dedicated teams for your unwavering support since our announcement in September to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows. What are they talking about? Unwavering support. Do you remember anyone having unwavering support for Assassin's Creed Shadows? A single person? Who? Can they name the person they're referencing? I'm curious, because that's not what I remember happening. Anyway, let's continue. This game originally was rumored was going to come out in the early fall, right? What was it, like September? Then it got delayed, and everyone thought it was going to come out probably around November, but then it was announced, no, it's actually not coming out till February. So now here we are in January, and once again, they are announcing another delay. Accordingly, the new release date is March 20th, 2025. We remain committed to delivering a high-quality, immersive experience fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. What they're saying is, it says right there, all their changes are fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. So what has been the feedback from players? Let's see. We want an Assassin's Creed set in Japan, but we also want a game set in Japan that's authentic to Japan. For example, when Assassin's Creed had a trilogy in Italy, it was authentic to Italy. When Assassin's Creed had games set in France, the Middle East, they were authentic to those times. But now they said, we're going to have one set in Japan, and we're going to have two protagonists. One who's a female ninja, of which there were probably two ever in Japanese history, if that, and an African samurai. Sure sounds representative of the culture, doesn't it? Here's the thing. Then people started to actually argue, don't you know that this is historically accurate, that this guy is real? And then, of course, they tore it apart and said, wrong. Actual historians came out and said, wrong. This is completely false. Didn't really happen that way. Was there an actual African person who held ranks and stuff? Yes. And he was essentially a glorified hand servant of a Japanese shogun. That, yes, he was given this kind of stature, but he basically was kind of almost like he was like marched around, like, look at me, look who I have, a guy from another country. Oh, I'm so prestigious because I have a guy from another country as part of my inner circle and stuff like that. This is not what people want. That's why people have issue with the game. It's actually not necessarily the combat. It's not the graphics. It's not it's the game itself. The core premise of the game has two protagonists that are unrealistic for the time period, for the culture, for all of it. It's just bullshit. Now, it's a video game, right? We're supposed to suspend our disbelief. I get that. But if people have been waiting a very long time to have an Assassin's Creed set in a certain time and place, they obviously are going to want the game to be representative of that time and place. Dragon Age Veilguard, excuse me. We got to have a whole scene about this transgender character and mispronouncing them, and how now we have to pull a barf to apologize profusely because we mispronoun someone. Do you really think that that scene is in the game because they think it's progressive, it's going to teach people a lesson? No, they did it as a stunt. They did it to try to get people to talk about the game, to think that people would buy it. Instead, it was the opposite. People have avoided Dragon Age Veilguard like the plague because it has it in it, to escape all this drama around us and just play a game and forget about it all. We can't do that anymore. Every game we boot up has some agenda, some bullshit, some spin. It's really fucking annoying. And we need to take the people in charge of these companies, and someone needs to give them a reality check. Oh, wait, they're getting the reality check because people aren't buying games like this. You see, that's why Veilguard is a huge fucking sales flop. So in this case, it's funny because they're saying they've listened to all the feedback and they're delaying the game again to do the final changes, and it's coming out on March 20th. Okay, so have you removed Yasuke from the game? Because that's what the feedback is. No one wants him. In fact, the entire country of Japan is angry at you for this game. They wanted a game that was representative of their actual culture, and they're not getting it. So did you remove the offensive party from the game? And again, I hate to say it, this is their flagship title. It's not a good sign that the game was supposed to come out in February and you're delaying it another month. What exactly do you think you're going to get done in a month? I'm just curious, like what realistically could you actually get done in 1 month as a development team? What fixes are going to be implemented? If they had said we're delaying this 6 months, I would have been like, that makes sense. Okay, 6 months, that'll give them more time. That's a good amount of time to work on stuff, to fix stuff, to improve stuff. 1 month? That's nothing. So I get the feeling this is sadly going to be another flop.